My heartfelt thanks go to you, dear readers, for your openness to stories of human faltering and growth, allowing me to weave this reimagined narrative with tenderness, preserving every nuance and emotion of the original in a new light. You may find yourself questioning how a person could unravel a decade of sacred promises for a fleeting encounter with someone unknown. I've grappled with that same question, turning over my decisions in my mind like stones in a restless stream. Life, I've come to see, is like a fragile crystal ornament, radiant yet easily shattered, and I was the one who let it fall, leaving it in irreparable pieces. Now I stand amidst the wreckage, with no one to hold close and no place to call my own. My former partner, Daniel, cannot summon the grace to forgive me, and the man I risked everything for has vanished like mist in the morning. For 8 years, Daniel and I built a life together. We met in our college days, brimming with aspirations, stitching our futures together with care. Daniel was steadfast, the kind of man who honored his commitments, who never missed a payment, who always remembered my mother's birthday. Friends called him a rare find, urging me to hold tight to such a gem. And in truth, Daniel was remarkable, perhaps too much so. Our days together were calm, predictable, a gentle cadence of routine. Part of me treasured that constancy, but another part felt stifled, as if caught in an unending cycle of the familiar. Each morning merged into the next. Rise, go to work, come home, cook dinner, sink into the couch for the same old shows, night after night, year after year. I told myself this was the essence of marriage, but beneath the surface, a quiet unease simmered, a yearning I couldn't quite define. That restless spark flickered until the night I met Ethan at a friend's birthday celebration. He wasn't exceptional by worldly standards, just a man in the crowd, but our conversation ignited something vibrant within me. Ethan was lively, captivating, unpredictable in a way that felt like a sudden breeze on a still day. When we spoke, he didn't merely hear me. He absorbed my words, his gaze fixed on mine, making me feel like the only person in the room. In that instant I thought, this is what I've been missing. It was exhilarating, dangerous, forbidden, yet utterly irresistible. It started innocently enough with messages, playful at first, then edged with something more. I assured myself it was nothing serious, just a passing thrill, but in my heart, I knew I was crossing a perilous line. The first time Ethan's hand grazed mine, it sent a surge through me, like a spark igniting a dormant world. And when we kissed, everything else faded, leaving only the pulse of that moment. I convinced myself it was love, the peace I'd been searching for all along. But now, in hindsight, I see it was merely infatuation. A frantic attempt to fill a void I hadn't dared face within my marriage. Daniel remained unaware at first, his faith in me unshaken, which only sharpens the sting of my betrayal. While he envisioned our shared tomorrows, I was drifting away, pouring my heart into another. I'll never forget the evening he uncovered the truth. Over dinner he was subdued, his fork pushing food around his plate. Then abruptly he looked at me and asked, "Who is he?" My heart froze. His voice carried the weight of certainty. I admitted everything, the hidden texts, the stolen moments, the nights I claimed were spent working late. Daniel didn't shout or break anything. He just sat there, tears shimmering in his eyes, and said, 8 years. I gave us 8 years, and this is what you chose. That was the moment I lost him for good. I held on to the hope that Ethan would make it all worthwhile, that I hadn't torn apart my marriage for nothing. But reality was harsh. Once I left Daniel, once I packed my things and walked away from our shared life, Ethan began to shift. The spark that had pulled me in dimmed the moment I was free. His responses grew distant, his time suddenly too scarce for me. I tried to brush it off, telling myself he just needed space. But the truth struck me one night when I asked if we could build something lasting. He laughed, a sound that pierced me, and said, "You're moving too fast. I'm not looking for anything serious." The world seemed to crumble beneath me. I had sacrificed my marriage for a man who never truly wanted me. The shame burned deeply. I tried to go back to Daniel, to plead for forgiveness, to swear I'd made a terrible mistake. I stood before him, tears falling, promising to do anything to repair what I'd destroyed. But his face was immovable, like stone. "You made your choice," he said. "Now you have to live with it." And so I am, living with it, alone. The nights are the heaviest, lying awake in the dark, staring into the void, recalling the comfort of Daniel's presence beside me, the security of his arms. I think of Ethan, too, how his glance once set my pulse racing, and how swiftly that fire faded when the chase was over. Most of all, I think of myself, my selfishness, my impulsiveness, how I traded a steady love for a fleeting thrill and ended up with nothing but embers. My friends struggled to respond. Some offered gentle solace, reminding me that to err is human. Others murmured judgments, saying I threw away a solid marriage for a meaningless fling. Perhaps they're right. Stripped of all justifications, the truth is clear. I betrayed a man who loved me wholly for a stranger who cared little. I told myself it was passion, but it was frailty. Now the life I held dear, the love I took for granted, is gone forever. Do I regret it? With every heartbeat. But regret cannot rewrite the past. It doesn't erase the hurt in Daniel's eyes or the careless dismissal in Ethan's voice. It doesn't warm the empty space beside me. Betrayal, I've learned, isn't just about desire or selfishness. It's about blindness. I was blind to the treasure I held, blind to the life I was casting aside, blind to the mirage I pursued. And when my vision cleared, everything I valued was gone. So here I am. The woman who threw away 8 years for a passing stranger. The woman whose former love cannot forgive her, whose fleeting lover won't claim her. The woman who thought she was chasing love, but stumbled into isolation. Perhaps the deepest lesson is this. If you cannot value what you hold, no pursuit will ever bring you joy. My gratitude goes to you, dear readers, for journeying through this tale with me, for holding space for its truths, and for reminding me that even in our brokenness, there is worth in sharing our stories.